Let's see. Hello, everyone. This is Kelly with Honeybee Stamps. I am going to be doing a lot of stamping, coloring, and do a full card from start to finish this evening. If you can tell me in the chat over there if your name and where you're from, and if everything looks good and sounds good, and then I'm going to get started with this cute little Easter Buddies stamp set. I've got my paper all ready to go and my stamping blocks and my Copic markers, and we're going to do lots of stamping this evening. Let's see here. This evening, I'm going to be using a lot of the smaller stamps from this stamp set to do a background and then add a sentiment onto my card. And so there's Miss Susan. Thank you, Susan. Great. Thank you for helping me out this evening. Let's see here. Hello from Huntsville, North Carolina. Everybody is coming in. Hello, Miss Dana. Hey, Lisa. All right, everybody's coming in. Make sure that you chat with us there in the comments because that is how we always choose our giveaway winners. We just randomly scroll through and choose a winner. So make sure you chat with us and say hi, tell us where you're from. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to get started stamping because, like I said, I am going to do a full card start to finish. I haven't started on anything yet, so you guys are going to kind of see the full process this evening. Hey, Linda. Hey, Rebecca. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the largest images that I want first for my background, and I'm going to have all three bunnies and then of these smaller little elements in the set. So if you have a large stamp set like this, and sometimes it's hard to use all the little bits and pieces, and so I'm going to do a background this evening with many of these pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and then we'll talk later on about some different ways that you can use and do other backgrounds as well. So this cardstock that I'm starting with tonight is not stark white. It is a very light gray because I thought it would be super cute for those little bunnies and for the whole background as a whole if it wasn't on stark white. You could obviously use a white cardstock if you prefer that, if you have that. And I'm going to show you an example of kind of the same card on white cardstock later on. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Misty because my little bunnies are a little bit larger, and I have an inexpensive like Cricut or Silhouette cutting mat in my Misty, and I'm just going to stick my cardstock down kind of in the center because I am going to have my bunnies kind of hang off the sides. And so this lets me be able to stick my cardstock down and not worry about it moving around on me as I do my background here. So I'm just going to place my little bunnies, and I know I want this little cutie here with his little cotton tail with his little bottom there at the top. I'm going to use this little guy right down this way, kind of like so. And then I'm going to use the other bunny down here towards the bottom, just like this. And now I have all three bunnies kind of spread out, kind of in a little triangle here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick my stamps up with my Misty. And I am going to use Copic Safe ink because I am going to do a little bit of coloring. So make sure if you have any questions about products or anything like that, anything that you're seeing me do or use, make sure you just ask them there in the comments or in the chat, and either Lisa or Melissa or I can get to those as we go along. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to check out my stamping. This little guy needs just a little bit more coverage. So that is the wonderful thing about the Misty. I can hit that little guy one more time with ink, and then he is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and wipe down my bunnies and place those back onto my little backer here so they don't get stuck somewhere and me lose them in my craft room. Get that stuck down. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I know that I want to add some of the cute chicks from the stamp set. And so I'm going to go ahead and stamp the chicks. And I want one right about here in the center. And then another, where's the other little cutie? He's right here. And I'm going to start this little guy kind of right up in this area. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just working my way around the cardstock. Let's see. Hello in Texas. Let's see here. Finally here, had to deal with, oh no, family drama. We all have family drama, don't we, sometimes? Shut the door, get my little chicks down. I'm going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to give it a wipe. And I'm actually going to dry off the wet, because when I lay this back down onto my cardstock, I don't want to get any of the yucky stuff onto my nice, clean cardstock. So I'm going to place this little guy here and this little guy. Where can he go? I may just do a little triangle here of those. So I'm going to stick him right back onto my thing. Pick up my chick and then stamp again. Hello. Oh, Margaret just got this set. Perfect. So Margaret, I'm kind of doing a background tonight using a lot of the smaller stamps from this set. And it's just kind of one more idea. One more way to use a lot of those smaller little images. And then let's see here. I'm going to start placing some of the other little pieces, like these cute little carrots. So I can place some down here. I can place my little single carrot. And let's go ahead and get some of the little tulips. Let's do the bigger flowers first. Let's do, or maybe some eggs. Just like so. And then I may take this actually out of my MISTI here in just a minute and do some stamping with a block. I just wanted to get as much as I can done with the help of MISTI, so I stamp it off. I have some other examples to show you where I set 2 or 3 stamps onto a block and then use those repeatedly. Like so. Give it a little dust up. Let's see, they'd be cool embossed and ink blend over the top. Absolutely. Let's see here. I want to make sure that this is connected. Connecting to my computer. No video. Let's see here. Let's see if this takes care of it. Okay. Oh. All right. Are we back up? Let's see. I thought it was just me since I'm in a hotel. Let's see the spinning circle at the moment. Okay. Is everybody back? We're back. My word. Okay. So I'm going to keep on keeping on. Okay. So I'm going to let's take a little egg and do here and the little carrots. And we can put another little flower like so, and another one of the little carrots right up in here. And then again, I'm going to ink. And press. And I think I'm going to take it out of my Misty now, out of my little mat. I'm going to do the rest of these little smaller things by hand. I've got a majority of the coverage done with my Misty. Now let's take some of these cute little tulips. Let's see here. My granddaughter insists that I should do this on YouTube. Techie problems would be my downfall. Miss Dana, I think that I have a lot of fun doing all of this, but you're absolutely right. The techie problems are the worst, honestly. I really enjoy coming and chatting with everyone and all that. I hate the technical side of it. Let's see here. I know. Let's add this big flower here. And let's hang some kind of off the side here. Let's see here. I don't want to crowd it too much. Let's go ahead and call that one good. And I know there is this little tulip here. I'm going to fill in. I love all these little images because they're such great fillers. And you can see here where it didn't stamp all the way. I'm going to fix that in just a minute. That is the bad part and not using a Misty, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. That is actually looking pretty darn good. I think I'm going to leave it. Okay, so let's stick this little guy down, and then I'm going to take a Copic friendly pen, and I'm just going to very quickly kind of draw this in where it didn't stamp down. And then when I get it all colored, no one's going to be able to tell. Okay, there we go. All right, I am, before I get to coloring, going to hit this with my heat tool just in case. Let's see here. Thank you, Miss Laura. Technician with her towards able to cut a stamp straight into a pattern paper. Yes. Now, I cannot take all the credit for these ideas. I don't know if you have ever watched or heard of Yana Smakula, and I'm probably not going to say her name correctly, but she does the most beautiful cards and most beautiful backgrounds with her cards with everything that you could think of. Florals, critters, leaves, all the things. And so I love watching her create. And so this is like the perfect idea. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of pink. I'm not going to color these bunnies completely. I'm going to add a little bit of pink right around their bellies and their ears. So this is not going to be lots and lots of coloring. And then if I want to, towards the end, I can add some little details into the images. I'm going to color his little tail pink because he's flipped around and I can't see his little tummy or anything. I'm going to get this little guy's ears. Like so, and I can even go up right along his little hands and add just a little bit of pink there. Okay, so I have that done, and now I'm just going to start working my way around my image with all of my colors. So I'm going to start out with I don't know if you guys are interested in the markers that I use, but I'm going to use a YR15 for the carrots. And Copic markers, you just kind of have to test it. Since this is a light gray cardstock, you can see I have my tester sheet here. And you just have to kind of test it and see how your cardstock is going to behave with different types of markers and pencils and things like that. So this one is doing pretty good. And I'm going to color all my little carrots. And this is going to be quick and easy. I'm not doing a whole lot of blending or anything like that. Make sure that I've got all of those, and then I can stick my marker back in. And then let's do the tops, the little carrot tops in a bright green. And then here. And here. And I don't want to forget these. Now, Emily, if you'll pull this up on, do you have your laptop? She's got her phone. She's going to pull up and help me if there's any questions while I'm kind of looking down here to make sure that I don't miss anything. And then I have a really bright green YG25 that I'm going to do all the leaves to the flowers. Just like this. Very easy, so simple coloring. Because this is kind of an all over background, nobody is going to be really looking at all the little tiny details inside the coloring to see if it is blended and if you've added little lines here and there. I can always go back and do that later to add just a little zhuzh here and there. Let's not forget this guy. And I think we have all of the green. Okay, for my eggs, I'm going to color the insides of the eggs, this G00, and I'm going to color the polka dots. Like so. You can see how fun these little pastel colors are coming through. And I've got those two eggs. And then for the outside of my egg, I'm going to do a light pink. And let's see here. Test that one. And I think I want to use this one. So I'm just going to very quickly move my marker around. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just like so. And now I can start coloring my tulips. I'm going to do them in a Y13, a bright yellow. Just like this. One here and one here. Like that. And then for my larger flowers, I'm going to do them in a brighter, kind of a darker pink. That. You can see how quickly these backgrounds go from start to finish. There we go. And now I can do my little chicks in a Y11. And I'm going to give them an all over color and then probably go back and add a little bit of something to their little beaks. I like these little chicks, these little buttery yellow chicks here. I think this little guy is my favorite. And then I don't want to forget this little man up here. Here we go. Super simple coloring. Just like that. Okay, now I think I'm ready to add in. I think I want to add in maybe a little bit of grass. Let's see here. Okay. Can't wait to see the finish. Thank you, Miss Sandy. Okay, so I've got a little grass on my stamp, and I'm going to fill in just a little bit to where I need just a little something, just like so, like so. And I have done all my stamping kind of straight up and down like you would see it, but this is super cute to turn it this way and that and kind of get different looks and have them flipped around. Let's see here. Do I need anything else? And maybe right down there. And so you can see how all this is really coming together and everything is filling in nicely. And I'm going to use, I think, this bright green again. And I'm hoping that because I didn't dry that, it doesn't bleed. And I'm not even going to straighten out the bottoms of my grass. I like them just a little bit messy. Like you can see the strokes of the marker. Let's see here. Just a couple more. In there. There we go. Oh, and that really brightened it up. Okay, I like that a lot better. Okay, now I am ready to go ahead and I'm going to trim this down just a little bit because I do have a white card base. So I'm going to remove that and I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I like to take just a little smidge off of each side. You know what I forgot to do too is add some cute little cheeks onto my bunny rabbits. I'm gonna do that too before I get too far. 5 right there. And I'm going to add some little rosy cheeks. Just like so. There we go. Just a little something. And now I'm going to add this to my card base. Let me wipe my fingers. I do not want to get that black ink onto my card base. Now I'm going to pop this up with a little bit of foam tape. So I have a big roll of foam tape. And I'm just going to start running this right down on the back. Just like so. Let's see here. And her voice is so very calming. It is, let's see here. You guys must not be talking about my voice. You can tell exactly or pretty close to where I am from by listening to me talk. I'm very Southern. Let's see here. I need just a little smidge right there. I'm going to tear this little smidge off. Now we can take all this off. Whoops. Violet with my backer this evening. And I just got a new roll of this 3M, the big mama rolls of foam tape. And I think they've changed their formula or something on it. It's a little different than it has been. Okay, now I'm going to pop my light gray cardstock right onto this white card base. And I'm going to try to line it up if it will cooperate. Just like so. Okay, so now I've got my little patterned background here on my cardstock, and I do have a little smudgy right there. So I'm going to take my little handy dandy eraser and see if I can't brush it away before I get too far. That's not too bad. Okay, now before I go on, I'm going to add a few little details, and I'm going to do that with my gel pens. So I'm going to add some little filler dots, and there is no rhyme or reason to the madness here. It just adds a little fun filler in those little areas. Now, I know some stamp sets have little things like this that you can add in. And I waited until I added it onto my card base. So hopefully I don't put my fingers into my little dots. Okay, so you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and very carefully color the little eyes and the little nose of my little bunnies. Just like so. I can color the little beaks on my chicks with a little bit of gel pen. There we go, get his little eyes. And then I'm also going to do the centers of these flowers. I'm just going to add some little dots. See, I know there's one right here. Like those are all the little seeds and things, right? In those little flowers. Okay. Now I am going to try to dry my little gel pen just for a second. Let's see here. Now, I hope that helps, so maybe I don't make a mess. And then I stamped a Happy Easter, and it is from the Easter Buddies stamp set. I stamped it in Versamark sticky ink, so that's the ink that you heat emboss with. And I used some ultra-fine embossing powder, and I'm going to pop that onto the card for my little sentiment. Let's see, I don't know about you, but that bunny back, I think the bunny bottom, the bunny butt, I think that's my favorite part as well. He's so cute. Okay, and I'm just going to add some foam tape right up here. And I need one more little piece, of course. Right over here to finish it up. And then I'm going to put my sentiment. Let's see here. I don't want to cover up my bunny butt. I think I'm going to have to cover up my cute little chick That's sad, but we got to do it. We got to do it for the card. He's going to have to take one for the team. I'm going to hold this up and make sure that is nice and straight. And then to finish this off, I believe how fast this has gone. I've got some other things I can show you. To finish this off, I'm going to add a few of the gems. Now these gems are the ones that coordinate with the brand new Playful Pastels paper pad. I'm going to add just some of these fun springy colors just all around. And they're just going to add just a little bit of fun something, a little sparkle all over the card. And they're going to go and blend right in with those little dots that I added. So I'm going to add green and yellow. Let's put one up there and kind of mask my little boo-boo there. And let's see here. Let's add one here. And I'm trying to do kind of 3 of each one. Let's do maybe one here. And then I think I'll add some pink. And we'll be about finished. This is just all over. And these gems don't add a whole lot of bulk to your projects. And cute, if I do say so myself. Okay. All right, so let me hold this up so you can see. And see all those cute little gems just kind of sporadically put on there. All those cute critters, and I didn't do any kind of fancy coloring or anything on that. I colored each of them with just one Copic marker, and you can see how cute that background turned out. Okay, now let me give you some other ideas that kind of play along with the same theme here. So here's another card that I did, but I incorporated the sentiment into the background. So you can see it's almost a 1-layer card. I did add it onto a gray card base, but I mentioned before that I was stamping this onto gray. Now this is what it looks like if it's stamped and colored onto white cardstock. So that just kind of gives you a different look for your background for your little bunnies. And then also I had fun and kind of went nuts playing with all of those little stamps. So you can see I've done a background here that I can color with the chicks and the little flowers and the carrots. And then I've also done one with the eggs and the carrots and a couple of the little flowers here and there. So these I did by putting several stamps onto one stamp block and then turning it this way and that across my paper to get a totally different look. And so now I've got 2 more little panels or backgrounds that I can work on and I can color. Let's see here. Thank you, you guys. Okay, I'm reading the comments. I know it takes just a second to catch up. And so I'll look here to see if anybody has any questions or comments. Mine should come tomorrow. Yay, Linda. Thank you all so much. Everybody's liking the little background and all the little details. It is a great way for any stamp set that you have. If there are lots of small little images in that stamp set, this is a great way to get use out of all those small little images. Let's see, Sharon always forgets to make her own paper. Oh, Rita, I hope it worked out for you. I hope it is not so blurry anymore. Let's see here. Love the scripty sentiment. I love the font on this one. It's beautiful. Thought that looked crooked there for a second. Let's see, everybody's liking it. Okay, any questions or comments or anything like that, I think these, when I create with these, I think I will color the background, and then I will probably add a sentiment and then one of the little bunnies there with my sentiment. Kind of pop a bunny, die cut a bunny, and then pop it up onto the top. I think that's what I'll do with both of these card panels. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Abigail, hello, 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 Jennifer. So much detail that came together so quick. Yes, the longest part is just getting all of your little images stamped down. That's the longest part. Let's see, had to order. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sandy. Yes, I have to have the bling, Jennifer. All right. Let's see. Just joined. Thank you, Crafty Confidant. The bunny. Yes, everybody's talking about the bunny's butt. Let's see. Honeybees needs matching embossing folders. Lisa is in over chat, I know, and we will both let Melissa know. That would be fun, wouldn't it, to have embossing powder. This is a perfect card to do for the ladies at the office. There you go, perfect. And you can mass produce it. So when I had my paper in my MISTI, I could have slipped this paper out and